Stop everything you're doing, because what you're about to hear might just be the turning point in your life. If you feel trapped in repeating cycles, if money always slips through your fingers, if no matter how hard you try, something always seems to sabotage you, the truth is it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change. And everything starts here. In this video, I'm going to show you what no one ever taught you, the reason why your brain has been programmed to fail, and how you can, with precision, rewire that programming to activate the same mental structure that millionaires use every single day. This isn't self-help, this is applied neuroscience. This is encoded behavior, and this is what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. But pay attention, this video is a mental instruction. It's not entertainment. It's a map to restructure your beliefs, your identity, and your results. So watch until the end. Come back tomorrow and watch it again. And if something stirs inside you, don't ignore it. Share it with someone. Because when two minds awaken together, the impact multiplies. Get ready, because what you're about to hear has no return. You either wake up now or stay asleep in the same life as always. The decision is yours. Do you want to know what truly separates successful people from those who merely survive? What allows someone to prosper even when the world seems to be falling apart? It's not luck. It's not just intelligence. It's something far deeper, much more internal. It's a way of thinking, a behavioral pattern, a set of almost invisible habits that, day by day, silently build empires while others struggle just to stay standing. The first brutal truth is this: those who let the outside world control their inner world are destined to fail. If you live in reaction to everything around you, you become a hostage of circumstance. But when you live from the inside out, when you master your mind, nothing out there can stop you. Adapt or die. That's the law. And those who prosper in any scenario have understood this on a deep level. They don't wait for things to get better. They don't pray for luck. They don't blame the system. They become the system. They are the ones who build among the rubble, the ones who create amidst chaos. Because their goals don't shift with the wind, the destination remains the same. What changes are the methods, the paths, the ways of getting there, but the destination, that stays untouched. And that demands a rare kind of clarity, the ability to keep seeing what no one else can, when everyone is distracted by fear. That's what sets successful people apart. They don't just face adversity, they use it as fuel. And perhaps the most shocking part isn't what they do in public, but what they do in private. The things no one sees, like the fact that the most successful individuals study every single day, even after they've achieved everything. They study for decades, repeating the same principles, immersing themselves in the same ideas until they become a part of who they are. Repetition, something many despise for seeming boring, is the secret few can endure. Because it demands discipline without glamour, persistence without applause. Imagine reading the same book every single day for 60 years, and not just any book, Think and Grow Rich. A book that doesn't just inform, it transforms. A book based on the lessons of the men who shaped history. Andrew Carnegie, the richest man of his time, passed his knowledge to Napoleon Hill, who then gave it to the world. And those who truly took this wisdom seriously lived extraordinary lives. Persistence. That's the one principle I would choose if I could follow only one. Persistence is the carbon of character. It's what gives the soul its strength, because starting is easy, continuing, that's hard. Sticking with it when no one is watching, when everything seems to be going wrong. That's where greatness is forged, because life is never still. You either grow or die. There is no balance, there is no pause. The illusion that things can just stay as they are is one of the greatest traps. You either create or you disintegrate. And what ensures you keep creating are your habits. Not the motivational ones, the deep ones, The ones you build even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. As Albert Gray said, the common denominator of success lies in forming the habit of doing things failures don't like to do. And no, the successful don't enjoy those things either. They just learn to turn discomfort into discipline. They understood that habits exist to save us from the burden of constant choice, that by automating the essential, you free up energy to create the extraordinary. Principles, meditating on the same ideas, become the backbone of greatness. And make no mistake, this is not easy, repeating the same chapter for weeks, reading 2 pages a day for months, until the idea becomes flesh, until the wisdom is no longer just in the book, but in your actions, in your language, in your decisions. That's how transformation happens, and it requires humility. Intellectual arrogance craves novelty. But true growth demands repetition. Repetition is the mother of excellence. In sports, in business, in life, the masters repeat the fundamentals every single day. Behind every brilliant play is the exhaustive practice of the same thing. 9 routes in football, 1,000 combinations. But mastery comes from repetition, again and again and again, until movement becomes instinct, until success becomes inevitable. And so it is with the mind. So it is with success. The inner game defines the outer game. That's why the successful invest in the invisible. They feed their minds powerful ideas. They don't just consume content, they program themselves. And this is what few understand. We are all being programmed all the time. The difference is, winners choose their programming. They choose which ideas will dominate their minds. They don't live by default, they live by design. They understand that it's not about doing more, but about doing the right things, repeatedly. They don't hoard knowledge, they apply it. They turn wisdom into action, and they live intentionally, even in the small things, especially in the small things, because that's where true power resides, in invisible consistency, in what you do when no one's watching, in what you repeat even when you're tired, in what you choose to carry, not out of obligation, but through conscious decision. That's what shapes destiny. Not the big moments, but the small daily habits. And if you want to grow, if you want to prosper even in hard times, you need to understand this. You must learn to love repetition. You must honor boredom. You must accept discomfort as a stepping stone. Because those who truly grow aren't the ones who feel inspired every day. They are the ones who keep going, even when they feel nothing. The ones who remain loyal to their standards, even when everything around them falls apart. The ones who understand that habit is stronger than emotion, that persistence is more valuable than talent, that focus outweighs enthusiasm, and that consistency, silent and invisible, is the key to everything. That's how an invincible mind is built. That's how adversity is overcome. That's how prosperity is achieved from the inside out every single day, without exception. You've probably heard that your life is a reflection of your choices, but what if I told you that before you even choose, you've already been programmed? This is not a metaphor. It's neuroscience. From your earliest years, your brain began forming neural pathways based on experiences, the voices you heard, the no's you received, and the limitations imposed on you. And today, as you try to grow, to achieve more, to change your life, that same programming is still controlling you. Your behavior doesn't stem from what you want. It comes from what you believe, even if those beliefs are buried deep in your subconscious. That's why so many people live the same year over and over without realizing they're just repeating a pattern. You can change jobs, move cities, find a new partner, but if you don't change the programming, the result will always be the same. It's like trying to drive with the handbrake on. You might move, but never at the speed you could. There's a brutal difference between those who build wealth and those who remain stuck at the same salary. And that difference doesn't begin at the bank. It begins in the mind. The brain of the wealthy operates under one principle. Everything can be learned, trained, and reshaped. They don't live based on precedent. They don't let the past define the present. They don't believe that just because something never worked, it never will. That's the key. Principle always overrides precedent. Always. While most people look backward for justification, those who transform reality look forward with conviction. They know success isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of consciousness. They repeat every day the truths they want to live. They program themselves intentionally because they've understood something most never will. The brain learns through repetition, and whatever is repeated becomes real. If you keep repeating, "I'm not good enough," your brain turns that into structure. If you repeat, "I don't deserve to be rich," it records that as a rule. But if you say, "I can, I will, I am capable," the brain changes. It rebuilds, it reprograms, and then your behavior changes, your results change, your life changes. But that takes discipline. It takes consistency. It requires commitment to a future that doesn't yet exist, but must be rehearsed every day inside your mind. Most people are living trapped inside paradigms they never chose. Programs inherited from family, school, religion, society. Programs that say, "Money is dirty. You're not smart enough. If you're born poor, you die poor." These sentences became invisible walls, silent locks, and you don't even notice you're inside a prison. But you are. The first step to escape is to observe. Observe what you believe, what you feel when someone talks about success, wealth, power, influence. If guilt, fear, or rejection arises within you, that's your brain revealing what was once engraved, and there's only one way to change it: with new instructions, repeated, felt, internalized, and applied. You no longer need to compare yourself. You don't need to wait for the right moment. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to decide, today is the day to change your course. Because what determines your direction is not where you are, but where you want to go. And if you know where you want to go, you can start right now to install the ideas that will take you there. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. What it sees repeatedly, it turns into habit. So visualize, feel, imagine your new life every day, a life with wealth, with security, with freedom, then act as if it's already real. Because that's how you break the old programming, by replacing it with a new one. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your debt. You are a powerful mind with the capacity to create anything if you learn to operate from principle instead of precedent. Stop identifying with failure and start identifying with the potential that has always been there, waiting for you to take control. Remember this: everything that exists today was once just a thought. A plane, a bridge, an empire, a fortune. It all began in someone's mind, and it can begin in yours too. Just repeat, repeat, repeat until your brain accepts this as the new normal, and then finally you take off.